head coach of Michigan State basketball, Tom Izzo. Coach, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Rich. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Is that voice okay? You're going to be...
Yeah, it's great.
It's fantastic.
Great. It's just kind of always raspy, you know. You knew a guy who had a raspy voice all the time. That was Bo, so you should understand that.
Well, you know, today's Bo's would have been his birthday. April Fool's was Bo Schembechler's birthday.
Oh, boy, of all days.
I know.
Is
but
that right?
Yeah, isn't that funny? Because there was no fooling with him, ever.
No,
if you're going to think about that. See, that's you, Coach. You're bringing up a Michigan guy to me, and it's the Spartans' time.
Yeah, but I idolized him. He was special that day.
You know, I mean, and I'm pleased to have you here on the program, Coach. What you've got 7 Final Four appearances, and I'm sure they're like children. You can't choose between one, but all kids are different. How is this 7th appearance different from any of your previous appearances in the Final Four, Coach?
Well, you know, Rich, we've had a couple that were surprised. I mean, the first one's always, you know, the first kiss. It's the one you remember, you know, and then we kind of went to 3 in a row, but the other 2 were pretty expected. 05 was a little bit of a challenge, but we had a good team. I think 010 and this one have been especially this one, you know, it kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, I can't say that I had my bags packed or anything, if I was honest about it, but I did think we were getting better during the year, and I did think down the stretch, you know, we had won like 10 out of 12 at one point, and we were just getting better and healthier, and freshmen were starting to do a little more. And, you know, what I've had to adjust to here is lost some pretty good players, and I lost 2 guys, one to injury for the year and one that we suspended. And so we had a lot of guys had to change roles, and it took a little time.
Well, what about this time of year, though, Coach, that gets the best out of you? What is it about this March tournament that gets the best out of you to get the best out of your players that other coaches and other programs can't seem to enjoy with as much consistency as you in East Lansing?
Well, my best friend and your buddy Mariucci threatens me all the time
That's
in the
true.
spring. He wants a weekend away, so he tells me to win some games, and then he travels, you know. But,
yeah.
you know, I don't know what it is. I really believe it's kind of gotten in our culture here where people think they're better than they are come March. I think that our former players put pressure on the current players. There just seems to be a little more focus. I hate to say that because around here, you know, everybody thinks I take off November, December, January, and February, and I work in March. You know, they think I'm golfing in those other 5 months. And really, I'm trying to survive to get to March. But the other thing I think, Rich, is we play a really good schedule in November and December almost every year. I mean, this year it was Duke, it was Kansas, it was Notre Dame on the road. And I think that kind of helps us. We get our warts out. We figure out what we're not good at, and then we start building on that. And I think that's maybe of all the things that's helped me the most.
Well, what is Duke good at that challenges you as you're currently looking at tape and going through, obviously, your mental notes of what it's like to go up against Coach K in such a big game?
Well, that's what's bad. They're good at everything, and he can coach.
Nice.
So there's not a lot of weaknesses, but they do have maybe arguably one of the best centers in the country in Okafor. And you know, the good thing for me is I never got him, but I recruited Okafor and Tyus Jones for 4 years, so I know a lot about their game and what they do. And then, you know, I think the Winslow kid has really come on, and those are the 3 freshmen. But I think the heart of their team is the kid Quinn Cook, and he's a senior. He's been there. He's changed positions. He's tough. He can shoot it. He can defend. You know, I guess if there's a weakness, they're not real deep. They could be in trouble with their depth a little bit, and other than that, though, they can shoot it. They can score in the post. Maybe been a little inconsistent from the 3 at times, but pretty good team. That's why they're a 1 seed.
Yeah, Coach Tom Izzo joining me here. Before I let you go, you mentioned Mariucci traveling. You went to China, as you know.
Yeah, I know.
You went all the way to China, Coach.
I know he watched our game from some river he was riding down. And,
yep, he did.
You know, it's kind of funny because I told him, I said, how could you let Gail schedule the spring? And he let his wife do that. That shows you that he's softening now that he's out of coaching and is in the TV world with you guys.
Yeah, I know. He's part of the paparazzi, coach. And he's an empty nester now, too, so he can go, wherever he wants.
And he is flying in, Rich. He's flying right from China into San Francisco into Indianapolis.
That's what he told me.
He had to look real good when I see him.
I know. He's going to be about 18 time zones away when he's right there, right behind the bench with you and chilling out with Magic, I'm sure, and everybody being there in Indianapolis. And I'm just one more question for you. I saw your post-game speech, and I saw you're up there on the grease board. It looked like Mooch, like being up there on the grease board. You wrote down, 2 minutes and 60 years worth of memories after 2 hours, pardon me, of hard work. What's that like for you to look at players and see nets cut around their necks and you delivering this speech after a victory like the one that you had over Louisville?
Well, I think those are the special times, I think if you ask coaches, it's the locker rooms, it's the practices, that's what you really miss when you get out of it. And those are great times, how much time those kids have put in. And coaches get credit, but kids do the work. I mean, they're the ones that win the games. They're the ones that, play the games. And so it's fun, but it's really been fun with Steve because and I've been a big fan of yours watching you on the network.
Thanks,
you guys
Coach.
do such a good job. And I think what's been fun for me is having a best friend in a similar occupation but a different sport and realize how many of the intangibles are really the same. Can you get a guy to do more than he thought he could do? And that kind of falls over into life too. So it's been good, Rich, and I've been fortunate, lucky, and just kind of looking forward to the weekend, see if we can keep this dream alive.
Yeah, but none of your players has ever whipped out a Sharpie from a sock and signed a basketball, right?
Yeah, we did talk about Theo a little bit at times. There's always we all have our issues, but they're all good in the end.
Yes,
I think you have an appreciation for everybody when you're done, and I know for Steve. He had some great years, but now he's really enjoying what he's doing. I watched his Game Changers last night.
Yeah.
It was good. It was funny, and I think he still misses it some, but I think he loves what he's doing.
Well, I love him. He's one of my favorite people on the planet. He loves you. He talks about you all the time, Coach. I have nothing but the utmost of respect and admiration for you and what you do and how you go about doing it. And I'm thrilled that you called into today's show. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Rich, and have a great day, and keep doing your job, and hopefully one of these days I'll see you when I get out that way.
I look forward to it, Coach. Thanks.
Okay, Rich.
You bet.
Bye-bye.
That's Tom Izzo, head coach of Michigan State basketball.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.